Bethany Manctalo here. Welcome to our Millwall Fans Show with some new voices, but the same focus. Just everything Millwall. Enjoy!
Welcome to the 2026-27 season of Millwall No One Likes Talkin's Our Millwall Fans Show. I'm your host, Eamonn Barclay, and I'm excited to have the one and only fantastic Dave Hart with me in the studio tonight. And a warm welcome to all our listeners too.
Not everybody likes them, but they don't care.
Well, we're pleased to welcome a guest, and there are numerous engaging Millwall topics to discuss. For now, let's pause for a moment to hear about our sponsor, G&M Motors.
Hi, this is Jess Tuffield from G&M Motors. Operating from a modern and purpose-built facility in Milton Road, Gravesend, G&M Motors offers a complete range of new Honda cars and services. As well as new Hondas, we have an extensive range of used cars, including ex-Motability cars from a variety of manufacturers. Specialising in new Honda cars, G&M Motors has been retailing quality new and used vehicles to the people of Kent and South East London for over 4 decades. We have been a Honda dealership since 1972 and are the country's longest serving supplier of this renowned marque. Conveniently sited just 2 miles from the A2, 10 miles from the M25 and Dartford Crossing, visitors to our showroom are assured a warm welcome from our experienced and friendly staff. Our facilities include an on-site workshop capable of providing full vehicle servicing and repairs, as well as an extensive parts department offering genuine Honda parts and accessories. The expertise of our skilled mechanics is not limited to just Hondas, but extends to most makes and models of motor vehicles. Whatever your motoring needs, visit us at G&M Motors today. The newly extended hours of our G&M headquarters means that you can contact us from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. on weekdays and 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. on Saturdays. To contact us, call us today on 01474 365 026.
Thank you, Jess. Debbie Julian's here. Don't forget to call Jess on 01474 813562. G&M Motors have been dear friends with the Julians family for over 4 decades now. From my dad Lenny to me, Debbie, lions together.
Well, thank you, G&M Motors. I'm your host, Eamonn Barclay, and with me I have the one and only Dave Hart. Tonight's guest is quite remarkable. With over 15 years of experience talking about footy for BBC London, he is also the official Millwall FC commentator. Plus, he even won a teapot on Countdown while chatting with Rachel Riley, which Jeff Burnage is so envious of. He never stops talking about it, but there you go. Well, we're thrilled to welcome once again Karl Bates, who is proudly epileptic, as they say. Welcome, Karl.
Welcome, Eamon. How the devil are we?
We're good. And yeah, that's Dave. He's
evening, Dave.
So, it's a smaller group tonight. We've been lost in transport problems and GCSE hold-ups. So, only 2 of us, the older ones. So, there you go. I suppose that's the only one.
Well, I turned 50 this year, so I'm...
you're catching up now, aren't you? I'll see that.
Yeah.
Well, that's not too bad.
Trying not to.
Hey, it all comes to us all, as they say. Now, before I fly into any of the interesting sort of things that are going on now, that loss to Hull at the end of last season in the playoff semis, did you see that coming? Well, it was a shock for me, I can assure you.
I didn't, I must admit. It had almost an unnerving feel of confidence, not when we've got into these positions before. We've had the heartache of Brighton in the Cup, Blackburn, obviously the game that I think none of us will ever forget.
No.
The game away at Burnley, where Mihailo gave us the lead and we held on to it for at least 30 seconds. Those sort of moments. But I felt we played well away from home with the 0-0, maybe should have won it. But for Hull, 0-0, when you look back on it, was almost what they were very happy for that to be the case, to be level, because in the second leg, we just never got going. That was the most disappointing thing. It almost felt like a Rowett performance. And I don't mean that disrespectfully to Gary at all.
No.
But we never seemed to get going. We never went for the throat. The crowd never got going. It was almost after the first quarter of an hour, we were almost resigned to what we thought was coming. The more the game went on, you could just see what happened coming. And sadly it did. And we went out with, in a whimper, really. It was a bizarre night. And yeah, just one you want to forget as quick as possible, because we didn't do ourselves justice after all of the incredible performances we'd put in through the season. Yeah. So many high points. And then that one just went horribly, horribly wrong.
Yeah, it was that one. And I mean, we missed out. Well, there was a few games at the Den where I thought, if only we'd won that, we'd have been home and dry. But that's football, isn't it?
Yeah, but then you go the other way and you think, who'd have thought we'd win at Wrexham and Middlesbrough and Hull in the league? And there was quite, Ipswich. I think the closest thing was Ipswich, underside of the crossbar. That goes in and we go up. So, yeah, it's fine margins. We could pick apart the whole season, I should think, and work it all out. But, gutted. But we go again.
Yeah. Well, let's go again.
Karl, in the mid-season, in between the seasons, we've left new faces and people left the club. What are your impressions of the new people into the squad?
In regards to the people that have left the club, it's a shame to have lost a couple of Millwall fans. In regards Danny going to Charlton and Billy to Sheffield Wednesday. From Danny's point of view, he was third choice right back at the end of the day. And when you've got a centre-half playing right back and primarily a midfielder playing right back ahead of you, I totally understand why he's left. It's a shame for him. In regards going to Charlton, I know a lot of people aren't happy about that. It is strange looking out to in, but Danny's got a young family. It means he doesn't have to move. We don't know what offers came in for him. There could have been offers from clubs that are up north, and his family didn't want to move. So with all that side of things, no idea. Still find Charlton a strange choice, but if that's the nearest choice and what's best for his family, you can understand that and wish him well in that sense. In regards Billy moving to Sheffield Wednesday, it's a shame. I still keep in contact with Billy. We're good mates. We chat regularly. And he's gutted it didn't work out with the club. He's a Millwall fan, and I'd like to think that he'll get a good reception if he ever comes back to the Den, whether that be as a player for the Lions or for the opposition. A couple of other ones, to disappear. Barry Bannon, no surprises. It just wasn't a good fit, I don't think, and him going back to Sheffield Wednesday makes sense. Adam Mayer, I think going to Hibs just shows, and I don't mean this disrespectfully to Scottish football, but he was exceptional at Cambridge United in League, excuse me, 2, and he's gone to a Premier League club in Scotland, and I'm sure he'll do well. Wish Joe Bryan well on his retirement. We've got Matty Survey, looks a very exciting prospect from a Millwall point of view, an attacking midfielder with an eye for goal. I think our Conte's very raw, but I think he'll cause opposition's problems. I think the game against Bristol City summed it all up in the fact that he caused problems with his physicality, his pace, but, he missed a sitter. I think he'll be the first to admit that. But then there'll be ones where he suddenly flies through players and smashes one in the top corner. So I think it's just to be good for him, get his first goal, and he'll push on from there. Baggett at the back, we haven't seen much of him yet. I think with the quality ahead of him, he'll be a bit part player. But with him and Danny Bart, lots of experience there. We've got plenty of options at the back. Sykes will be a good utility player, as we've seen when he's played right back in friendlies and midfield when he came on against Bristol City. Luongo, great experience to have behind the scenes as well as on the pitch. And then Lisby and Metcalf, both look really, really good signings. Metcalf in midfield, a fan's favourite, I think, with his physicality, the way he gets around the pitch, gets stuck in. And Kyrell Lisby, I mean, what a cameo. We saw the threat he's going to cause oppositions, the awkwardness that the defender against him got cramped towards the end because he was twisting and turning and really causing a lot of problems. Lyndon Dykes, I think, will be a perfect foil for Coburn and Arconte. He can come on late on to help Coburn out with the physical aspect of the game, or have Arconte working off him for flick-ons, knockdowns, etc. So I think he'll be important as a bit part player. He's not going to start games. Luongo, I think, will be very handy off the pitch as well as on it. He's a very sensible head, as you've probably heard on comms. He is very knowledgeable of the game. And Metcalf and Lisby, I think, are going to be two players very key to how Millwall get on during the season. Metcalf in midfield looks excellent. The fans love him for how he gets stuck in all the time. And Lisby, as we saw when he came on, is going to be a big player. He was only on the pitch for an hour and he left the fullback in circles and with cramp and probably just begging for mercy by the end of it. So, yeah, he's going to be a really good player for the Lions.
Yeah. Well, interesting other couple of factors really were the laws of the game have changed for 26-27 and there was some spectacle about that in the game at Bristol. What's your take on the changes?
I think they're good in the fact that we've got now, we're stopping games from just dying. If a team goes ahead with 10 minutes to go, you can almost drain the clock just by being really slow, going down with injuries, taking an age for a goal kick or a throw-in. Now you're on the clock. Yeah. I think that people are still getting used to the rules. I mentioned it on commentary where Ryan Leonard was about to take a long throw and got called on it by the referee for taking too long, which actually is incorrect. If you're taking a long throw, it's classed as a piece and you're allowed longer because you may want the likes of your centre-halves to go forward. So that was a mistake by the referee. But overall, I'm really, really happy with what's going on because it will just make the game quicker. And I think it's better for fans because it will be more exciting because the game will have a flow to it and it won't be so stop-start.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that. And Lukas Jensen as well is, there seems to be, I don't know what's going on really in the fan base. They either love him or hate him, and that seems to go on week by week at the moment. He done a wonderful job at QPR. He didn't have much to do at Bristol. But there seems to be some sort of concern that he's not going to be as good as Patterson. But how are they making that sort of judgment?
I think it's guesswork, to be fair. We haven't seen Lukas for a very long time. No. You've just got to judge him on what you see. He's almost signing. And against QPR, pulled off a couple of good saves. As we know what happened with the penalty shootout against Bristol City, he had nothing to do. Give him time as you would a new player. Patterson, we don't know if he'll be better, worse. We've got Crocombe there as well, who'll be, chomping at to get in place of him. It's a lovely position from a Millwall point of view to have such a top quality second keeper. And we'll know he has to be on top of his game to stop Max getting in the side. But, Lukas has shown already he's a very shot stopper. So I think you just give him a fair crack of the whip and how he gets on. I don't think judging him on the past, it's quite hazy. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, was a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope he achieves, and he seems happy. Seems happy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got to be very annoying as a player when you have the ability to be a professional footballer and your body doesn't allow you. We'd all not be able to play must drive you mad.
Yeah.
The Bristol City game. How did you see that? Obviously, it was a nice win. We've won there last year as well, so that's good. How did you see that game? And how do you see Saturday's game against Norwich going?
Bristol City, we've got a great record there, haven't we? I think it's something like 6 in 8 we've actually won there. So, on there with confidence, I thought it was an excellent performance. And yes, they went down to 10 men, and yes, they can use that as an excuse if they like. But I think the impressive thing from my perspective was how well the game was managed. You can struggle against 10 men. They can get a good solid line at the back. You struggle, and then they are dangerous at set pieces, or they get a chance on the break because you're overcommitting. But Millwall spot on, passed them to death, moved the ball left to right, front to back, and just kept them on the back foot, made them work really hard. They never looked like scoring at all. Millwall should have scored more. I think there was one point in the second half, about a 5-minute spell, where they were literally falling over themselves to score at one point. So overall, yeah, you couldn't be more pleased. Alex, after the game, naturally very happy with how it went. For the game against Norwich, it'll be a case of more of the same. Let's hope that Millwall get off on the front foot. I thought it was great against Bristol City, especially away from home first game. He said himself that he's wanted us to look more attacking. He didn't feel against QPR, and in pre-season games we offered enough going forwards. So great that he didn't just think, right, we'll sit in, get a point at Bristol, we'll push for the win, which we got. And so hopefully he'll do the same against Norwich.
Yeah, I think that's about the way I look at it. I mean, it's not, we haven't got a good record with Norwich, especially an early game at the start of the season. So let's look forward to a win instead of the usual.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
True.
Without a doubt. Now, on Saturday, your co-host was another individual to add to your extensive list of radio TV buddies. How was it with the one and only Byron Webster?
Really good. Byron's very keen to get involved from a commentary point of view. He really enjoyed it. He obviously is retired from his career with Bromley, his last club, and he's very good, very passionate, knowledgeable. It's great. The really good thing I take all of the people that I work with, everybody that's played for me still has them in their hearts. When I've worked with Steve Morrison, Andy Marshall, Byron, Les Briley, whoever that may be, they have all, Brian Horn, they've all been just desperate for Millwall to win. It's having a former footballer and Millwall fan sat next to you, so you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So, no, Byron was great. Yeah, I think he'll be a very good asset to my many support summarisers, shall I say.
You can't beat a summariser, especially during the summer. They work ever so well, don't they?
Exactly. Although the rain at the moment is saying otherwise.
Right. Well, it's Ted's Prediction League. He was supposed to be on tonight, but he's not, so we'll have to put up with that. But never mind. He's put 3 games. First one, of course, is obvious to us. It's Millwall v Norwich. What do you reckon that will be?
My heart says 2-0 Millwall, but my head says 1 apiece. So let's go with my heart. 2-0 Millwall win.
Well, that's a good one. Next up is Blackburn versus Middlesbrough.
Well, hopefully a 36-0 win for Middlesbrough, as we need to get rid of Blackburn in this division if we stay in it. So hopefully a big win for Borough, but being honest, I still fancy Middlesbrough to win, so we'll go with a 3-1 win for Borough on that one.
That's good. Next one up is, I don't know how you pronounce it these days. Some say West, some say Wet, some say Ham, and some say Spam versus Cheltenham. What do you reckon on that one?
I think it'll be a comfortable win for West Ham, maybe 3, maybe 4-0. And Danny will probably get booked for flying into a challenge very early in the game, would be my predictions. So comfortable West Ham win and Danny Mack making friends with the referee.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, 3-0 West Ham. Yeah.
3-0. So thanks for those. You might even win a prize. We find out eventually what Ted's got up his sleeve. He seems to hold it to his heart till about.
I won the league last season, Eamonn. Yeah, it was a comfortable 3-point lead at the end, so it was quite good. but don't know about this year. So I got a nice a whiskey glass from Ted. I haven't got it yet, but
that's good.
I've seen it.
Oh,
He sent
right.
me a picture of it, so that's the price for last year. So he might come up with something slightly better for this year. We don't know. Depends how his finances go.
Yeah.
But there's
good
definitely a prize.
Right, lovely. Anyhow, in the meantime, we look forward to hearing from you on Millwall TV, and all the best to you and your family. Thank you for joining us as always, Karl, and bye for now.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
So
thanks, Karl.
Thanks.
Take care.
Right, so there we go. Karl Bates. It's great to hear from him. He has a really good view on so much. He's quite valuable in that sense. He tells a good story. Anyhow, for now, we'll take a break and hear from the one and only Harvey Brown.
Hi, Harvey Brown here. I am proud of the Lions Food Hub, which is jointly owned by Kelly and Ellen Webster, and they have been supporting families within our community on Millwall match days. If you would like to donate to them, they have a matchday donation hub at the SE16 bar at Coldblow Lane, end of the ground, where they accept any food or money and toiletry donations. If you can help, any donations will be received with thanks.
Well, I'm your host, Eamonn Barclay, and we're feeling a bit lonely here, but I've got Dave Hart to accompany me. Others have got lost along the way, but we're enjoying ourselves. Did you know if you donate at the Food Hub, you can also donate and buy Millwall kit at very reasonable prices, which helps fund the food bank. Well worth a go, I tell you. Well, Ellis Barr is doing well. I spoke to Dad Joe. He's delighted for us to continue as one of the flag bearers on our show. His daughter Ellis, who he's forever thankful, well, him and his wife are forever thankful for what Millwall fans have done for them. So let's hear from Ellis.
Hello, Ellis here, and I'm glad to be back talking about Millwall. I know many have watched my videos. Thanks for your support along the way. It is now time to hear what all the Millwall teams are up to. Come on, Millwall!
Yeah, come on, Millwall. Thanks, Ellis. Paul Loding.
Hi, it's Paul Loding at the Millwall Romans. It's great to be back. I hope everyone's had a terrific summer. In terms of the Romans and Pride, we are back at pre-season. We had a great end to the season last year. Both teams finishing top of the league, Romans winning the Division 1 and Pride winning Division 2, which means Pride have now been promoted into the top division of the London Unity League. Just to update over the summer as well, a few of us went over to Valencia for the Gay Games. It was a really good competition. Teams from across the world, we had Argentina, Mexico. I don't think it was our best tournament that we could have played football-wise. We didn't win it, put it that way, but we did manage about 8 out of about 15 teams in the end. But it was great to play other teams across the world, and say Argentina, a very good team, a couple of American teams, and Mexico. But it was it was a great time. We all enjoyed ourselves. That was at the end of June. We've only had a few weeks off, and we're back at pre-season with some pre-season friendlies in August. So in August so far, Romans have played against Phoenix away. It was our first game back. Very, very hot day. But we managed to win the game 4-2. Last Sunday was an inter-club friendly between Pride and Romans. A few players missing on both sides. Very competitive first half. But Romans just overpowered Pride. I think the score ended up about 5-1 in the end. But it was great to get both teams together and socialising together on the Sunday for pre-season. This Sunday, both teams are in action at St Paul's. Pride will be kicking off around the 12:30 mark, with Romans following around the sort of 2:33 p.m. mark. Our last friendlies before the season kicks off, break next weekend, and our first fixtures of the season, which is on the 7th of September, is Romans versus Pride in the first fixture, Division 1 clash. That will be a cracker. And obviously, great start from Millwall last weekend. It's a great start to the season. This could be the year. So this weekend, I would say Millwall Norwich. I think Millwall will take that 2-1. Blackburn Middlesbrough. I'm going to say Middlesbrough are going to nick that 1-0. And West Ham Charlton. I think West Ham will win that 2-0.
And a bip too. How about that? You can't beat a bip as well. That's great news there, Paul. It's going to be entertaining with you both in the same league. It's a little bit like those two Charlton sides as well. Anyway, let's see what happens in the London Unity League. Next up, we'll hear from Kai Bennett, who talks about last Sunday's game at St Paul's.
Lionesses were defeated 5-3 on the opening game of the 2026-27 season against Hammersmith at St Paul's on Sunday. Positives, however, from the game: Ella Rutherford got a brace on her return to league action in Millwall Blue, whilst Kira Watlin also netted her first of the season. The Lionesses move on to Dorking Wanderers at Meadowbank this Sunday.
Yeah, don't forget to get down there. We'll tell you more details about that towards the end of the show. Manager Ted Jones reflected and looks forward. So let's hear from Ted Jones.
Ted, defeat on Sunday, but plenty to take forward into the next one and learn, but also some positives. But give us your assessment on it.
Not really happy. We've had a lot of chat with each other after the game in terms of it was just too easy. I think we started the game well and took the lead, and I think we looked quite comfortable, and then we switched off. We conceded 2 goals really quickly and just wasn't good enough across the pitch. I think we've had two, as I said last week, we had 2 strong games in pre-season, against tier 4 teams, and I think we just dropped our levels. I think Hammersmith are a good side, and don't take anything away from them, but I think we made it far too easy. I don't think we defended our box well enough. We didn't get enough pressure on the ball, we was just a million miles off of it. So I think it's a lesson learned, and it's something which, first game of the season, we can't allow it to continue again. But, there were positives. We did have opportunities, to extend our lead when we had it. Opportunities in the second half to peg them back and, score, get back into the game. But, yeah, really frustrating, really disappointed game.
And plenty of positives too, Georgia and Izzy making their first team debuts, as well as Ella getting back on the score sheet, 2 goals in our first league game back for Millwall, and obviously Kira getting on the score sheet. So there was positives there as well. Yeah. But that's to build on for Sunday as well.
Yeah, I think the AEs have done really well. They joined us sort of back in the last season and came into pre-season. They've done well. They've not looked out of place. And as I said, there were opportunities for us to take the lead further. There were opportunities for us to equalise. I think 2-2 just before half time. Kira hits the post, that goes in. It's a different game, but they go back down the other end and make it 3-2 themselves. So there's lots of positives. I think we've just got to tweak a few things and get it right on Sunday.
And Dorking on Sunday, a different type of test. We haven't beat them in the league last season, so we want to put that right on Sunday, don't we?
Yeah, again, we are still really a new group, and they are a young new group, so there's no doubt they're going to want to prove themselves. And I think we know, especially the way Sunday went, that every team that plays us is desperate to beat us, and I think that's going to be the case across the season. So we have to raise our levels. They'll be a good team, and we've got to go after them and go get 3 points.
Yeah, got to go after them and get 3 points. Isabel Beckwith, who was mentioned in that, come up through the academy system, and she shared a few words with Kai as well.
Disappointed defeat on Sunday, but it's one that we can learn from, move on from, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It was really unfortunate that we lost. I think we did play really well, but we have things to learn from and that we can improve on throughout the coming weeks.
And a really proud moment for your first team debut. You must have been absolutely delighted to get on the pitch.
Yeah, I was so happy to actually get on. I'm just proud that I've put all the effort in to get to the first team through the academy, and I just want to keep developing and continue getting minutes.
And Dorking on Sunday, a real good opportunity to put things right now.
Yeah, I think we definitely should win. It's going to be very difficult. I think it's going to be physical and competitive, but I think we have a good chance.
Well, we'll move on from there, and Millwall began their championship campaign with a positive 2-0 victory over 10-man Bristol City. Josh Coburn scored both goals, capitalising on defensive lapses and the advantage after Adam Randell's, just incredibly stupid, 2 yellow cards. But there you go. And that red card eventually was roused in his face on the 36th minute. 5 minutes later, Coburn scored at the near post from a low cross by Ryan Leonard that was fed in by Lisby. He doubled the lead earlier in the second half, scoring with a downward header from close range after defensive confusion. Millwall threatened further, with an effort hitting the post and having a goal disallowed as well. Bristol City had a brief opportunities in Laurent Tolage. His shot was just wide, and Sam Greenwood's long-range effort, but they struggled to threaten what I considered was quite a solid defence. We've got Alex Neil's reflections on that post-match. Let's listen to those.
I thought it was a complete performance from us, I think that there's been a lot of talk about pre-season, and listen, when the real stuff starts, it's different. It really is different. I thought the first 10 minutes, I thought we started brilliantly. I thought then the referee made 2 or 3 decisions that changed the flow of the game, which I didn't think was. I didn't think it was needed at that point. I think for the ball going out to the free kick getting given or the corner getting given against Lukas, it was 8 seconds, and that's even for us trying to set up and get our players up the pitch. So that's not a lot of time. And what I was told, and I said this to the fourth official, I was told prior to the season that there'd be a lot of just like common sense applied when these rules are getting implemented. I thought that didn't happen all throughout the game. I thought for that little spell, I thought second half was certainly better.
Bristol City go down to 10 men, of course, about half an hour in. It can be difficult to play against 10 men, can't it? They can shut up shop, but your lads really did well against that today. Yeah, I think what you probably find in the past is, I think that's probably not been a forte in Millwall teams in the past, if you like. Going down against 10 men, can you break them down? Have you got enough quality? I thought we showed more than enough today. I thought we scored 2, we could have scored more. Brilliant for Josh Coburn to get 2 goals in his first game of the season. I thought Karl Lisby had a big impact when Femi came off. I just thought there were some excellent performances across the pitch. So 2 centre-backs were brilliant. Tariq should score, the one he hits the post at the back post. We get 1 chopped off. So there was a lot to like about the performance. You and I are probably going to stand on touchlines this season and talk a lot about moments in games. That first goal, Lenny keeping the ball in very well there. But the timing of that just after the red card and just before half-time as well, quite key. Yeah, I just think goals change games, don't they? It allows us to go on at half-time, but the talk was we need to get the second goal. Because I've been 10 men, I've been there before, and what you do is sort of try and stay in the game, nice and compact, and then give yourself an opportunity to try and go for it towards the end. And what I say to the lads is we need to starve them, we need to take that away from them, you need to go and get the next goal, and then just literally pin them in and keep the ball. If they want to come out, get them behind them. I thought our balance to our play today was great.
Yeah, thanks to Millwall media team for that. Good review from Alex Balanced. Dave, we've listened really to Alex Neil's view. We've listened to Karl Bates' view. What was your take on our appearance at Bristol? I think our performance on against Bristol was as good as it could be. We started off strongly. We didn't look troubled at all. And as you said, a silly second yellow card from Randall. He had to march off. He wasn't very pleased about it, obviously, but this is how it goes. Straight after that, up pops Coburn, squeezing that one in from Leonard, 1-0 half-time. We never looked in any danger of conceding. Second half, it was more of the same, with players coming on, refreshing legs. Second goal came, the nod down from Coburn, well taken goal, really pleasing to the eye. And from 2-0, we were just really coasting. It could have been a lot more, but so it wasn't, so we'll take 2-0 anytime. 2-0 would be good at any time, and as I've said earlier, I think I said at one stage I thought we'd get 7, but I think we could have had a few more. So this Saturday we're hosting Norwich City in an engaging match. Millwall recently celebrated away wins at QPR, courtesy of a penalty shootout win, and at Bristol City without conceding, likely relying on a solid structure. According to the media, they pose that as that and direct play. They've shown skill in close games. That's what they say. Norwich had a slow start, losing their opener but scoring once. showing offensive potential, though they haven't converted chances into points yet. Bookies are saying, well, Millwall at 6-5, Norwich at 4-1, and a draw at 2-1. I don't like it when there's some width in those betting odds. It makes me get a bit, really? Well, I reckon expect a tight competitive game with both sides capable of scoring. The atmosphere at the Den will be key as Millwall's attacking spirit is strong. Norwich's form and chance conversion will decide an exciting encounter. So what do you reckon, Millwall versus Norwich, Dave?
There's this classic early season tie with Norwich at home. We haven't been very successful with this yellow and green team, I'm afraid. So I'm hoping that that's going to be turned around and it'll be a comfortable 2-0 win to Millwall.
And for me, I've actually gone for a 3-1 defeat of Norwich. So I'm a bit more, I suppose, positive about it than your good self. What about the next two games? Let's go with Blackburn versus Middlesbrough first.
Yeah, looking back on to what Karl was saying, we need to get rid of Blackburn out of this division. They are awful. Although they didn't play too bad the weekend. So I'm going to go for a tight game, but a 1-2 win for Middlesbrough.
A 1-2 win for Middlesbrough, okay. Well, I'm going to say that's going to be a 1-1 draw, but that takes us on to West Spam or West Ham or West Ham and Spam Ham. Yeah, I don't know. I'm never quite sure about it. Anyhow, West Spam at Charlton.
Yeah,
what do you think?
This is another one. It's going to be, I think, a comfortable win for the home team. I won't say who they are, but I'm going for a 3-0.
Yeah, and I've gone for one more and make it 4-0. It will be a heavy old day for Charlton, I think. Anyway, we've also got from the Facebook Millwall Sicily site, we've got predictions from the one and only Nick Wythe. So let's hear what Nick's got to say.
Hello, everyone. My predictions are Millwall 2, Norwich 0, Blackburn 1, Middlesbrough 0, West Spam 3, Charlton 1. Hopefully that's 9 points, and hopefully for you, Ted, 0 points.
Oh, well, there you go, Ted. He's thrown the gauntlet in already, old Nick, and he's also got Blackburn winning as well. So that's going to be a little bit difficult. But thanks for that, Nick. We appreciate you doing that, and thank you so much, Dave, for collating the results and pulling the league together. Well, we'll take a break there, and we'll listen to Bethany Manktelow talking about the Millwall Community Trust.
Our Millwall Community Trust Line Centre has a 4G football pitch where 9 versus 9 can play, a sports hall, classrooms and a cafe. To access these state-of-the-art facilities in a safe and positive environment, get in touch on 0207 740 0503.
Well, I'm your host, Eamonn Barclay, and with me I have the one and only Dave Hart. We've had a pleasant evening, to say the least. Just the two of us. Oh, we did have Karl Bates on for a while as well. It's been another week of Millwall Community Trust summer holiday camps, as well as their Kellogg's and holiday activity food camps. 175 kids have been there daily, and 135 free meals as part of the Kellogg's and holiday activity food camps. 10 hours of delivery per day. That's doing some. What an inspiration our MCT are, and in particularly the staff that work for them. Well done. Well, it's news next for Millwall fans and those interested in football, and I'll kick off with the first piece. Our next theme event is Junior Takeover Day, which takes place on the 5th of September when we host Bolton Wanderers. The highlights and experiences include behind-the-scenes access, visiting areas like the dressing rooms training facilities and broadcast zones. Player interactions, meeting first team players and coaching staff, as well as participating in Q&A sessions. Media opportunities. Some participants may take on reporter roles, conducting interviews and producing content for Millwall TV or club media channels. Special interviews. Previous events have featured encounters with managers and club figures, giving juniors direct exposure to football operations. This is not to be missed.
Next week, our Millwall Fans Show will be hosted by Andy Petman with a panel of Sean Daly, Phil Coleman and Ted Robinson. As a reminder, on Saturday match days, No One Likes Talkin's Gary staff brings match previews, halftime analysis and a match report on Maritime Radio on 96.5 FM and DAB across South East London and North West Kent. Midweek, the breakfast show airs reports from 7 a.m, including coverage of Millwall Lionesses and other Millwall community matters.
Millwall Lionesses head to Dorking Wanderers. Kick-offs at 3:30 p.m. at Meadowbank Football Ground. Meadowbank Mill Lane, Dorking, Surrey, RH4 1DX. Lionesses are looking to get back to winning ways. If you can join our Lionesses, they would very much appreciate your support. Both teams are excited to move forward in the lead. With a lively and passionate crowd, the Lionesses will play with pride, desire and determination. Be there and uplift our Lionesses. Come along, sing a song and cheer our Lionesses on. Tune in to No One Likes Talkin team for reports from our games home and away for the Lions, Lionesses, Romans and Pride. You'll also receive updates on Millwall community topics from us and through Maritime Radio, available on 96.5 FM, DAB and via their website. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, YouTube, Spreaker, Maritime Radio Podcasts and all major podcast platforms. Thanks for coming on, Dave, and sharing tonight's, well, not quite solitary, but small and, well, cosy.
Yes, thanks for that, Eamonn. And
thank you.
Karl did make a nice interlude between us.
That's it, he did. And a big thank you to all our listeners. Finally, let's not forget to keep it safe on the streets out there. And I'm going to say bye for now.
Yes, sir. Let them come, let them come, let them come. Let them all come down to the den. Let them come, let them come, let them come. We'll only have to beat them again. It's the best team in London, no, the best team of all. Everybody knows us, we're called Millwall. Let them come, let them come, let them all come down to the den. It's Saturday in Cold Blow Lane. We've all come down to cheer. We've had our jelly deals and our glass of beer. Come rain or shine, our families will bring. And as the Lions run on the pitch, everyone will sing. Let them come, let them come.